Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me is Dan Raju, CEO of Tradier, to discuss a cloud-based financial services provider and brokerage API company. And we're going to look at the future of brokerages. Dan, it's great to meet with you. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Nice meeting you, Jill. Thanks for having me.
You got it. And Dan, let's talk about the future of finance, more broadly, embedded finance.
Yes, I think there's a fundamental shift in the market in the way brokerage services are being delivered and at the same time the way they're being consumed. I think the traditional vertical stack approach of building the whole thing is in question, number one. And number two is I think finance and the act of investing is right now being distributed and consumed in just not financial applications, but all kinds of user experiences. So this whole trend of embedded finance is the act of investing being embedded into non-investing experiences in a way that each of them basically becomes a fully embeddable and life experience for the customer. So, for example, if you think about it, if you can trade from your PayPal account, right? You're using PayPal just to make payments, and all of a sudden you can now go ahead and buy a share or a fractional share of Microsoft, that or some other company of your choice. That is embeddable finance. So the act of investing, which is traditionally locked inside the four walls of a brokerage firm, is now being distributed and unbundled to occur from any place, anywhere, anytime. And that mechanism is what people are broadly calling as embedded finance or embedded investing, specifically in this case.
And Dan, what's interesting is the power of crowd trading. Of course, Reddit is an example that everyone's well aware of at this point. The recent launch of Stock Charts ACP became a brokerage overnight as a result of a cult following. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing, and we're seeing this trend all over the industry, right? So if you take a look at Stock Charts ACP, they're a platform that has been providing some of the best, what I call as research and analysis and content for a long time. Customers were using that for a specific purpose of analyzing the market, and then they would consummate their actions or trades at a brokerage firm, right? It was still a disconnected experience. You're getting your ideas from here, and you're acting on your ideas somewhere else. I think particularly with the integration with Tradier under the larger theme of embedded investing we're talking about, people can stay on Stock Charts ACP, make a decision, and act right then and there. And so if you think about what has happened, so powerful, because that traditional two-walled experience is now completely collapsed. Investing is occurring exactly where the traders are. So this idea is, and Stock Charts is great for jumping on this and offering their customers this capability, but that's the larger theme that is happening across the market.
So how does embedded investing provide a way for non-traditional financial services companies to offer financial services and products to enhance the client experience? And I also want to follow up with, is this safe for investors? Because this is the question that the industry and legislators are trying to answer.
Yeah, see, I'd say at the end of the day, what's basically happening is firms like StockCharts.com and all other players right now want to basically go ahead and offer an end-to-end experience to the customer. That's what they're all focused on, is how do I offer the best end-to-end experience to the customer? I think with embedded finance, what happens is if you want to build that capability yourself, I mean, this is what you're going to do. You're going to procure your market data from somewhere. You're going to procure your clearing services from somewhere, infrastructure from somewhere, have your compliance and regulation operation from somewhere. Put all this together. It would take years for you to build, and then eventually you're going to be able to focus on your product. Now with embedded finance, that entire stack and that complexity is abstracted by folks like Tradier, and we have been the absolute forefront of that. And now they can just focus on the last minute customer. So now they're able to rapidly offer the investing capabilities at the same time, and focus on the customer where they excel. Now, as far as the safety of this structure is concerned, it is just as secure and probably very more secure than anything that we have seen in the industry. Number one is it's still very clear. The act of investing and the act of processing the trade still occurs at the brokerage firm like us. It really occurs at that spot. What really is happening is the insight creation and the act of deriving the idea is being generated on the last mile. It seems seamless to the customer, but at the end of the day, the demarcation of where the regulatory requirements are still exactly where they are. It is a very, very, what I call as simple yet powerful way, and a fully regulated way for people to invest. It is just with the advancement of technology, they're able to create that consolidated experience to the customer without actually having to put a wall in front of them.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. And Dan, to wrap up here, would you say embedded investing is at the core of how investing is changing the way brokerage services are delivered and consumed?
Absolutely. I think the idea that investing is always going to occur within the four walls of a vertical brokerage firm. Brokerage firms have been for decades saying, come to my website, I've got an app for you, I'll give you a great price, come and trade. But the customer is locked within the four walls of that structure. Versus the new way of doing things, and that is you invest from any place, anywhere, anytime, and have the capability to create your own custom experience. So at the end of the day, it's great because the customer has his own choices. The customer has his own way of interacting. At the same time, he's getting the benefits of a consolidated brokerage infrastructure. So I think it is good in every way. And I see this trend of embedded finance continuing. And we are so fortunate at Tradier to be at the forefront of it. We were one of the first brokerage firms to have launched this API-driven brokerage firm. And the whole idea is, how do you enable others to offer something that you alone cannot offer?
All right, Dan, appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks, and thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thanks, Jill.